Okay. Hold on. Default microphone. Oh, okay. Super quick show. Alright. So I had a recent situation and I would like to share with you all what I did about it. So I had a experience of extreme irritation, and I mean extreme irritation yesterday. Irritation that, you know, usually don't get the best of me. And I was like realizing like, yo, I don't want to do all this work for the pay that I got, you know. And I, I went to another manager about the behavior of this manager, and I was just like, look, it's not even about them. It's, I need to get paid what I'm worth, you know. Respectfully, I said it. But after that, after it was all said and done, I had to look at the bigger picture of the situation because it was like, I'm not mad at this manager. I'm not mad at the manager that's asking me to do too much every fucking day. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the spiritual symbolism of it all, right? And so what happened is, uh, as I was sitting back, um, looking at this, right, I realized that, hold on, oh shit, I didn't save this meeting I got today. I was looking at it and I was like, why? Why am I so upset? Why am I uh, not, feeling what um, this person, you know what I'm saying? Why am I, just why am I upset? You know, why am I irritated? That was the main thing. And that's what I was asking myself about this situation. And so when I tapped into myself, I took my shower, washed the day off of me and stuff, and I tapped into myself, I found that um, it turned out to be that it's about, it's not so much about that. It's the fact that me being paid what I'm worth. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's about me being paid what the fuck I'm worth. And so when I sat here and I thought about it, uh, okay. Oh, it's at 9:30. I thought it was 8:30. Okay. 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 I just had to find this damn meeting I had. Not damn meeting, but I want to be prepared and be dressed up when I get into this meeting. All right, I had to find that shit. I found it. Um, I wasn't mad at the manager. You know, I wasn't. I was not mad at the manager. I was mad at the principal. Do you get what I'm saying? And of how this person is always giving me giving me extra task of work to do. And so I had to pull my mind out of something. And be honest, this is why I'm sharing this with you. I had to pull my mind out of something. I was like, I'm not going, down the road of everybody hates black women. Oh, excuse me. Everybody hates black women. This person got it in for me. I ain't even go down that road. I said, this experience is a push. And I really did well, I say it's a ritual, but I really did do the Florence Scovel Shen about naming your money. And I named my money. And I sat down. Of course, it took the next day for me to just kind of shower and sleep it out. And I said, me and you gonna make the best out of this pay that we get right now. We're gonna make the best out of it. Me and you gonna stay focused on what we need to stay focused on and make happen what we need to make happen. Right? Because we still getting money. There's still income. There's still divine supply being put in. And why am I sharing this with you all? I want you all to understand, right? Because it all hit me when I began to, uh, when I began to have this experience. It called for me to talk to you all about it because it was an experience. And it all began to hit me, right? And it was like, okay. It began to hit me that this is what's going to come with this path. And I'm going to tell you why. When you're sitting here, right, and you are calling in the wealth frequency, and you are naming your money, and you are writing a letter to build a new relationship with your money, that means you're saying thank you to your money. You are talking about your divine supply. You're writing down the way she worded these things. And this is how you refer to your money and all of these things. And then you're learning and you're writing down these books and you're learning about these books. I need you to understand what comes with this path. This is one thing I noticed that I'm noticing, like Shin Yi, remember him, uh, he mentioned this in one of the videos we watched. But you have to be prepared for what comes with this path. Okay? You have to be mentally and spiritually, not just mentally, spiritually strong for what comes. I'm telling you, there are people who will turn on you. There will be conversations that will begin to irritate you. You will walk into the room and feel things that you've never felt in the room of people you used to walk into and smile and say hi to before. You will uh, notice people will frown at you even while you smile. Somebody who used to smile at you will frown. I had that happen. That just I smiled at a manager and they just didn't like me. Their energy just did not like me. Okay. And so I was like, well, damn, this is the main manager. This is my first time ever. You're going to experience that. And you're going to experience irritation. And I'm gonna tell you, I realized I was irritated yesterday, and I don't get irritated. I really don't. But I got so irritated. I felt like leaving. I'm talking about I felt like literally like turning my 2 week notice type shit. Like I'm done. I'm not coming back. But then it hit me all. I said, wait, no, no, no. This is not the way. This ain't the way. What's in this? What's inside of this irritation? Why am I irritated? What's going on? Because I had a good day. I was with Bae. We had a good time together. We chit chatted. We laughed. I mean, I had a great day with Bay. I really did. And what happened was that's when it all hit me. I said, no, no, no. The irritation is movement. I'm getting irritated because it's time to move. It's like where does irritation sit? Irritation is inside. Irritation to me feels like it's inside of the brain. You know, it feels like it's inside of a certain part of the body. Because I felt like crying. I did. I really wanted to cry yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is the alchemy, right? Because remember, emotions are alchemy. We was that was for the remember that was a part of the creator's code. Remember they said when you feel angry, when you feel sad, you feel these things. You don't deny these feelings, right? And it's so funny because I ate my salad yesterday, but I didn't think to what's the name? I didn't think to go into my creator's code. You know what I'm saying? And so my notes or whatever. And so as I was doing that, um I realized what was going on. And I started making some moves. I literally woke up this morning and the first thing I did was something with finances. Okay. That's the first thing I did. Literally woke up and did something with my finances and realized, okay, this needs to change and this needs to change. First thing first when I woke up today was about my money. Right? So this is to you who's listening to me right now. When you have those days, right, where it feels like you're ready to explode, or you get irritated and you don't know why, or you look at somebody, you don't like them no more. Because that happened to me too. I saw somebody and I was like, you know what? I don't like this bitch. See what I'm saying? I was like, I don't like this motherfucking bitch. I ain't never speaking to her again. I'm always saying hi to her, but this bitch don't never say hi to me. Type shit. Like this little shit like that, I start peeping. Or if I do say hi to her and she like I start peeping shit. And I was like, oh, all right. So you're gonna peep, you're gonna do that. I want you to understand what that is. I want you to understand what that is. You may have done things and never thought nothing of it because it was nothing to be thought of, right? The universe puts you in a position to recognize these things because it makes you take your energy back. Do you understand? So that person you used to speak to that you realize, and like what I'm telling you, this motherfucker don't speak back to me, and this is that person's boyfriend, and this motherfucker don't never say hi either. See, you begin to start peeping shit like that because it makes you take your energy back. You see? It makes you say, all right, when I see that person, I don't want that person holding the door for me. I just walk slow and let you start moving in a place that energetically pulls you back. You'll start walking differently. You'll start taking different routes when you walk. I literally took I literally heated up my food the other day and I walked around people. Like I went a back way around people to go sit down and eat. That's going to happen. Something in your energy is going to be like, I don't really want to walk this way. And so you don't. Something in your energy may not even want to sit in a certain. I move where I sat. That person I'm talking about, I had thought about it. When I had thought about everything, I sit with my back towards that person. I don't like them. I just turn, I like, I just, and see, when we don't like people, we know why we don't like them. But it gets to a point where you may not even, your energy may not even hide that you don't like them. You feel me? So understand that I'm not trying to get you to fall onto that. That was just my own personal example, right? Understand that these experiences in life happen with absolute purpose. Okay? Absolute purpose. It is to pull you back into your energy. Yesterday, I chit chat at work with the same person I chit chat with. And I realized that our brains, the biorhythm of our brains, can do things, right? And I noticed that I get into certain type of conversations. This particular person, we always end up talking about the city, New York City, and I mean, I learned to just not care. It's cool because they bring up the topic, and New York City is a part of me, so I don't really feel no type of way about New York City. It's like, but I used to be like, isn't that the past and stuff? No, not necessarily, because it's my city, so I'll go back to visit or whatever have you. So I can't just say that it's the past. And so anyway, um, what had happened is um, it goes into this person talking about it, and I don't get tired of about it or nothing because I kind of get a little laugh and shit. We was talking about what were we talking about? Who knows? We were talking about some news that had happened and shit. And so let me just get focused here. And so the point is, it's okay if you have an energetic awareness. Like, I could talk about NYC. It's not like it's pulling me back into my past and my history. It's not doing all that to me. It's just I'm talking about what's going on in the now. And sometimes I'm talking about memories because that's that person's energy. They're an older person. They something in them feels like they missed out on life if they would have just stayed. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it. Because sometimes that's going to happen too. You're going to spiritually get what you experience with other people when you begin to walk around and understand your creator's code. I just don't like, people were saying Beyonce is a witch and all this and that. I just was like, okay, I know not to talk about that person or that person. Because I'm all about success. I'm all about people who work hard. I'm all about people who put the work in and put the frequency in, to do what they need to do to manifest what they need to manifest. But here's the way anyway. So listen, now I'll be sitting here, right? And a lot of times in through my own experience and through the experience of walking into the wealth frequency, I have to remind myself that I'm in that. When I was looking at the food yesterday at work, I was like, this is too much bread. I can't eat this bread. And I had my salad and I took some of the cheese from the salad. It was a Caesar salad, so I like the cheese that they have, but I realized I can't eat no dairy at all. I was like, damn, I can't fuck with dairy at all. I have to hang it up. Period. It's no good for my body. And so that was a little thing that happened yesterday. I was like, all right. So then after that had happened, I ate the Caesar salad. When I tell you I could not eat anything in that refrigerator, because they have like you can serve your own food and stuff. When I tell you I couldn't eat none of that food, I couldn't eat none of that food. I literally could sit there and just sip on water as my lunch. And I'm gonna tell you, these type of things will happen to you in your wealth frequency. I'm serious. These kind of things will happen. I didn't mind eating the meat from the Caesar salad because it's a light meat. It's not heavy. Do you understand that if people talk about pork chops and chicken and all this shit, that shit don't turn me on at all for food. I have a different taste bud of what's delicious to me. You get what I'm saying? Even the type of food that I hear is like, yeah, that sounds more delicious. And it's more healthier food that sounds delicious to my ears. So if you ever come across a situation as mine in the wealth frequency where you find yourself getting irritated with somebody or something, this is all movement, okay? Because you have planted the seed of this is the new me, this is the new life, this is the new reality, right? And so, therefore, it's collapse in time and you're getting this new reality. But seeing this new reality and this new identity of yourself, right? What is happening is your identity is identifying with money, meaning you're connecting with money. You're building a relationship with your money. And so, therefore, when you build a relationship with your money, therefore, that's a part of, you know what I'm saying, of your identity. And so, therefore, when you're working and you're like, yo, y'all asked me to do too much and I'm worth more than this, you're going to ask for what you're worth because you planted that seed already. You put that new identity. Nah, I need more. You know what I'm saying? And you ask them respectfully. You know what I'm saying? You put it in the universe. But see, what's happening is you got to, I'm not trying to say what you got to do, but what I've learned is what I do is I go back and say, I'm divinely supplied. I call out to my money's name and I go, thank you so much for divine, thank you so much for this divine supply. We're going to make the best out of what we are making right now. You know what I'm saying? We will be divinely supplied. We will multiply this money. Whatever we have, we will multiply it. Don't worry. Don't even say don't worry. You got to be confident in how you talk to your money because this shit is real. Because you have to remember you're building a new relationship, especially if you have been in a neglectful relationship with your money. It ain't going to be that easy to just bounce your relationship back like that. It takes time. It takes trust. It takes test. There's a lot of tests that come in the universe. It's a lot of tests. Trust me when I tell you. I know some people hate tests, but there's some of us that grew up, we love taking tests. I was one of them. And pop quizzes, oh yeah. Sometimes I hated those if I wasn't prepared, but sometimes they were fun. But anyway, the universe is constantly, forever going to test you. When it comes to this wealth frequency, it's a whole nother mind that comes with this. It's a whole nother level of confidence that comes with it. This you have to work with the seeds that you have already sown. When you work a job and you're making whatever you're making, that's seeds that you are sowing. You just have to work with the seeds that you have. And then you branch out and you start getting other seeds, meaning getting other money and jobs and take advantage of what it is that you can take advantage of. You feel me? I had a awakening yesterday, sitting down thinking about my money after I took a shower and stuff. And I said, oh, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. Okay. And, you know, just taking myself and aligning myself with the things that I love to do. And I'm like, this is what I can do. This is the other format of things that I can start taking on. You know what I'm saying? And so when I start doing that, when I start thinking like that, you feel me? I start realizing that, yo, this is what this shit is about. It's not going to be easy, y'all. I'm at 25 minutes and I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be hard either. See, that's the thing. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be hard either. It's only going to be hard if you make this path hard. And that's what I said. I literally, after I had that experience, I said, this is poverty shit. This is poverty frequency. Okay? I'm not going to because this is how I talk. I'll be like, poor people shit. This is poverty shit. We have to go, we have to wait, we have to pump it up. We have to raise this frequency. And there's other things that hit me in my soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. If you're ready, get a financial fucking manager. know what I'm saying? You got so many options to just go around until you find the perfect one. Or you might have your first one might be the best one. It doesn't, I don't know. The point is for get a financial manager if that's what's going to be the beginning for you. Fill that person out. See if they really will be helpful. Some people are more helpful. The universe may make them a catalyst to be helpful for you than they are to their own self. Or the universe may be a catalyst to give you somebody who really is about their money like they say they are. This shit is real. Everything Duchess Dollars is saying is fucking real. Wealthy women focus on their money. They know where their money is going. After I sit here and do whatever work I have to do with print out this paperwork, I said, you know what? Thank you, universe, that this person could not print out the paper because I had emailed them this paperwork, this financial paperwork, for my, for my apartment. And I said, thank you, universe, that this person could not print out what I sent them, and that I'm going to print out what I sent them and make copies, and I can keep it for myself. You know why I'm happy? Because now I can see my money closer. Now I can look at my check and say, well, what does it mean when I have this on my check, and where is this going? What does it mean to have this on my check, and where is this money going? And what is this money on my W-2? What is a W-2? What am I filling out? What That's how you start with your money. It's those little intricate things. You know, don't even see it as, like you're pretty much you're your own accountant, right? But you have to know where your money is at and where it's going. Don't ignore those that's like, I don't even know what the subscription is. No, that's your money being taken away from you. You don't allow stuff like that. You don't allow the people that's disrespect. You need to go look and see what the fuck going on. You are now in a relationship with your money. That's the thing that I have come to realize. When you're in a relationship, understand what Florence is saying. I get it. I'm coming to get it. You build a relationship with your money where you be like, oh, hold the fuck up. And I get what Duchess Dollars is saying too, right? Because Florence Campbell's not here anymore. Duchess Dollars is. I get what she's saying too. Because she like, yo, you're obsessed with your finance. You're obsessed with your money. You're obsessed with the finance market. I get it. And so this is only the beginning. This is the step of getting and focusing on my money, right? Every time I get up here and I have done the things that I've done, and I play the shit that I play here, it's not shit, but y'all get what I'm saying. The things that I play here, the information that I give you all, I'm applying this to my life, y'all. This is me sharing my journey with you, okay? For real. Whatever reason, whoever, whatever reason, I'm called to get on this microphone and do this. I'm a very, very private person. I would literally get on this microphone and talk to y'all about crazy shit. Not crazy shit, but other type shit. But no, I'm called to get on this microphone and play these audiobooks to you, play these videos, play Duchess Dollars, talk, play about the 48 laws of money. Like I said, that audiobook had like an energy over it that I did not like. It had a lot of fear. I don't know what that was about. So that's why I couldn't play that no more. And it wasn't me, it was whatever energy he was projecting on it. Um, I play all these things about the 12 laws of money. Excuse me, there's 12 laws of money, and then there's 7 laws of money, but then there's 7 and there's 12, okay? But there's laws of money, and then there's 48. That's the most laws of money, right? So the thing is, I'm called to do this shit and get on this microphone and share this with y'all. You feel me? Because somebody out there, whoever you are out there, come here and y'all receive this information. When I roll over and go to sleep and I play them audiobooks, Y'all are listening. Last night, I know I didn't play anything because I just let myself sleep it out. I needed my mind to be fully clear and wake up with a resolution of what moves forward. And plus, I have this meeting as well. I didn't realize it was um, an hour and a half later than, which is good. So I give you more time to rest. And I had to come wake up with a clear mind. I had to do that. What happened to me last night after I took my shower and washed up good and stuff like that? Um, I said to myself, and I said out loud, I said, "This is poverty frequency, right?" So this is all poverty frequency. And then I began to call out things. I said, people who have been hurt, they want everyone else to hurt with them. They can't stand to see people who I'm trying to tell you something, people. I need you to hear me very closely. You persevere through life. You have a strength, a personality, you have something about you that perseveres through it all, just breaks through it. And you may think you have cried alone and you have broke through that with strength and silence, but you didn't. Your aura, the way you carry yourself tells people that you are much, much, much more ironclad than what you appear. You feel me? Much more ironclad. And so this is what I'm telling you, like, you need to understand what comes with this path, because this is how people end up folding. You get what I'm saying? This is the stuff that make people run back to the church, as they say. They don't be ready. Make sure you're ready for this, man. Make sure you're ready to listen to the creator's code and apply it to your life. I took notes that I'm still reading. I'm going to read them today. I'm going to read the rest of them today, okay? Make sure you can apply this to your life. If you got to take notes, right, from these books and like write a quote or whatever, and when you're going through something, you just open that paper up and you just look at it and you put it back in your pocket. If you got to do that, then that's what you got to do. You feel me? You got to remind yourself. You may have to build a template, or you may have to take one of the audiobooks. Most of them are linked up, or the title is there. I know sometimes I don't always put the title, um, but you can always ask me in the comment section and I got you. I'm getting better with checking my comments, by the way. I'm going to get better with looking at my comments every day. I don't be looking at the comment section because I'm in my own little studio in my own little world. So I'm not necessarily over there on YouTube like that, but I'm going to get better with that, guys. Okay. I just was thinking nobody was commenting. So now I see, like, oh shit, y'all commenting. Let me get down there and comment back. And shout out to y'all who comment. I don't ever have a problem with comments. Comment as much as you want to. It's cool with me. It really is. Because a lot of times I see your comments and I go, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about. Or they're probably watching something and I'm like, okay, let me go down there. So I don't mind. Just want to let you all know it's not a big deal. With comments, I just ask you to have etiquette and be respectful. That's it. If you disagree with something, you can respectfully disagree. You can have some etiquette in your disagreement. You don't have to be so extra, that's unnecessary, not that I experienced that. Shout out to all of y'all, because y'all are very grown about it in my comment section. I don't have all that going on, and I'm not going to at this point in my life, but at least not with this frequency. I'm not going to go through that. So here, let's get back to it. Um, when you're walking in this frequency, you may have to put yourself in repetition. Listen to an audiobook over and over and over again and really understand and receive what the audiobook is telling you. Um, I don't know, maybe it's something I was saying and talking about. You may have to go back and receive all what I was saying. Um, Also, I wanted to tell you that um, this path takes a lot of patience. Okay, it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of courage. When I sat here and I saw the things that I can do, right? I sat back and I saw the opportunity that I can do. I did. Um, I began to feel a nervousness come over my body, literally, not an anxiety, a nervousness. And I said, why am I feeling so nervous? And I had to go back to my mentor, right? Duchess Dollar. And I was like, okay, what is the smart solution here? And the solution was to just keep going and keep doing it. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened, because I could tell you. I went to go for jobs, right? It was like customer ser- customer service work. And when I clicked on it, the link wasn't available because I'm looking for, you know, looking, seeking that other multiple stream of income thing. And when I went to look for this job, I said, wait a minute. And then I saw all these other jobs come up. I've never even knew that this site even did this. And I saw writing jobs, literally writing jobs. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think to have an actual writing job. And so I felt the nervousness come over me, right? I felt the nervousness come over me. And I had to sit down with that feeling, right? I sat down with it. And I realized what the nervousness was. Sometimes that nervous feeling is not fear. Remember that fear and faith are two sides of the same coin, right? Just a different extremity. You have faith either that it will go well, or you have faith in the fact that it won't go well. See? So you have to understand which side of faith are you on. And so I was like, oh, now I get it. See? And so the nervousness also, think about this. Why would I sit here and energetically attract jobs that I can do for writing? Different kind of jobs. For why did I attract that? Because that's my wealth frequency. See? That's the, yes, I could do customer service, but what is my wealth frequency? See? So you are going to be pulled into your alignment so much that you're going to get rejected for things that's not in your alignment. I mean, you're literally going to get rejected. Like, huh? So you have to begin and take a step forward because you're building a new identity. And this is why you have to know, who is your new identity? Who is this person? What is their name? Right? This shit, you can give this new identity a name. Who is this person? What is their name? Which is, what is their brand? What do they do? How do they spend their day? Who is this new identity, right? That you are stepping into. And that new identity will start formulating. And here's what's so dope about it. Even if you just read the creator's code and you took notes and you start applying just little pieces of the creator's code into your life, bending time, collapsing reality, whatever it is that you're doing, you already are building a new identity by doing that. By doing that. But yesterday I tested myself and I said, well, what am I talking about? Am I wasting my words? And my words are my wand. And am I wasting my words? And then I thought about what I was saying about being paid what I'm worth, right? And then I thought about how I was talking to a coworker about the treatment, how this manager treats people and shit. And this is all the frequency I'm putting out there. And I'm just like, no. That's not it. It ain't about this manager. It's about you. See? It's about you. This is a mirror to you. This person is only a mirror of pushing you to that level. See? That's how the universe works. You, do you ever notice that that is how the hero is always tested? When you write a protagonist, they said the protagonist needs to have a high position that they're in, or they're pushed to being in a higher position, or they're given a hard time to get to the next level or push to the next level. You have to understand, as the being that you are inside of this physical vessel, you need to understand that you are the main character energy. And so when you are experiencing this, even if, like myself, I wanted to cry, it was okay that I wanted to cry, because that was all the irritation of being in that poverty frequency. I know it's poverty. See? You see how the mind begins to shift? That manager in that higher position, that supervisor, that person at the top, you don't even see them as wealth. You'll be like, y'all all poor. This is some poor shit. I'm telling you, because you'll begin to realize somebody who runs this shit is not going to be here. You feel me? Not like that. Somebody who really runs this shit, you ain't going to really know who they really are running this shit. Do you know how many Asians I see at that job with a fucking clipboard walking around, and they have on no uniform? They have on the safety gear, but they don't have on no uniform. I peeped that. I'm like, that's the motherfuckers in the wealth frequency right there. See, that's how your eyes is gonna start seeing things. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna be like, well, oh shit, oh shit. See that manager that was above you, that you thought probably do get paid more than you, right? Because or you got that other person. None of that's gonna matter no more. It's not gonna matter. Your mind is gonna go higher than what it used to be. Excuse me, I yawned. That came out of nowhere. I didn't realize I yawned. Your mind is going to go higher than what it was at. Your eyes are going to begin to lift up as well from where it was. And I sat back and I was like, okay, universe, I'm getting it. I'm waking up. Now, I didn't wake up with my finances out of. See, notice something that I'm telling you. This was not something that I got all mad and pissed off and I was like, man, I gotta get my hustle up. I gotta get on my grind. No, 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 no. Because that fades out. Trust me, all that anger shit and doing shit, that shit fade out. Just as fast as you do it, you're gonna be like the metal, the element of 10. As hot as you get, just as hot as you get, it's just as fast as you're gonna cool down. They ain't gonna do shit. You have to be in your logical mind. I was irritated and I sat down with that. And I called Bay and I even said to her, I said, yo, listen, listen, this ain't about him. This ain't about the manager. This is about me. I need more money. I need to be paid. It wasn't about I need more money. I need to be paid what I'm worth. So, what does that tie back into? Your relationship with your money. See, not only are you talking about what you're worth, what is your money worth? What is the treatment and the relationship you should have with your money more? What is your money worth? Now I understand why people put their money in expensive pocketbooks. Now I understand While that older lady that takes her money and she holds it inside of a significant kind of purse, or there's a certain kind of wallet. It's a long wallet, a very expensive wallet. I would see in the city a lot of the elderly women. My grandma had that wallet. They will put their money in that wallet. It's showing your money what it's worth to you. See how it all flips back? Because it's energy. See, when you sit here and you toss your money to the side, throw it on the table, that's how you treat your money. See what I'm saying? As opposed to folding it up, you know what I'm saying? Taking care of it, putting inside of something that's real pretty and beautiful for it to rest in and all that stuff. That's showing more love, showing more appreciation, more gratefulness for your divine supply. Because that's what your money is. It is your divine supply, right? You are being divinely supplied. And then you name your money, right? So anything you name, you hold power to it, right? Just as parents name children, just like if a grandparent names a certain child, that child will end up being up under that grandparent. I did not realize that I named my little brother, and that's why we so damn close. I named him. That's why he had a baby, and his baby be up, up under me and stuff. I was right there when she was born. You see? So all of these things are energetic things. This is the same thing with your money. That's the brother that I talked to too. That's the one I asked to be my mouthpiece. And he still told me what he told me too. And I said, all right, bro, I'm going to listen to you. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? And I told him too, I said, listen, I get it. I understand. Just know that I'm not mad at that person. It's about the money. And so, why did that theme come up for me? Let's talk about it. Why did it come up for me that I got so irritated about doing all this work and not being paid for it? Why did I also get so irritated? Because there's something else there. There's something beneath that in my life. Do you know how much writing I've done? Do you know how much work I've done? See, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of writing. When I have to go in that closet and I have to take out the projects that I've done and put it in a box and put it to the side, that's a confession. That's a testimony of how much writing and work that I have done throughout the years. Do you see what I'm saying? So underneath that, I have not known my worth even with the things that I've done. Not that I didn't know, but I can see where the irritation came even in that. See, you see how that works? See, I was irritated with this human being who is titled a manager or a superior to me, right? That is the title of this human being in this reality that I'm in when I clock into this job, right? That divinely supplies me, right? You have to just hear me out. And I got irritated because this person had me doing a job that four people were doing. It's not that I can't do it. I can do the damn job. You see, I can do it. It's not that I can't do the putting stuff and on or whatever job I'm being told to do. It's not that I can't do it. I can do it all. Even the extra job I was given, I did it. But underneath that irritation was something else. You see? So you may not even realize that irritation is not even what you are presenting yourself to be irritated about. No. The irritation is, what about the work that I've been doing privately? See how energy works? What about all the blogging I've been doing? All the years on the radio show that I've been doing? All the time that I put into other people's spaces and their radio shows and platforms and panels? What about all the time that I put into, where's my wealth in all that I've been doing? Bam. Bam. There it is. There it is. That's the tears. That's why you want to cry. It ain't over this motherfucking person, human being in front of you. It's you. You're looking in the mirror and you don't even realize that you are. I was looking in the mirror and I didn't realize that I was. It's these moments that we need. Do you know how many times I sit here and I listen to this stuff and I cry a little bit? When I hear about money and finances and things to do, smarter ways, when she gives you that, talking about that poverty mind shit, there are times I'm crying. When I talked about paid in full and waking up to what that song is really saying, I was crying. I was inside of myself. And this is why yesterday I just wanted to cry. And these things are going to happen to you, whether you realize it or not. Because I'm realizing, like, yo, the things done in silent, right? Like I think about my life period where I have to fight spiritually. I have to fight spiritually because sometimes we have to do that as people on this planet. And that's another topic. That's have to go behind. That's as they say, into the temple conversation. The reason you have to fight, I have to fight spiritually. But the things behind the closed doors, the work that you've been putting in, your spirit knows that you've been doing it. You know what you've been doing. And so when you're going out here in your day to day, you know when you're not in alignment either, man. You don't like it, You're like, okay, I'll do this job. I can do it. I can do this. And here's what's the dark part about it. There's a lot of things I don't get up and do because I can do it. Does that make sense? I don't get up. The Yo, when I talked to the other manager about the manager, he took me into side of this fucking uh the what's the name, the fucking one of the electric machines, right? That helps make a product. And so he was like, you have to look at these numbers here. And I listened to him. I listened to him say 5, 3. I was like, oh, they talking about the rolls. Oh, I see that. Oh, that's the number. That's okay. Oh, so this is how you adjust this machine. So I learned how to adjust that machine. And I'm like, why the fuck is he teaching me how to adjust the machine? Once again, you gotta look beyond what's being shown to you, right? Adjusting the machine, the details, the numbers, right? The numbers. Look at the numbers. Follow, this is how you follow this number and this number. That's finances. You following the numbers. So of course I resonated with somebody giving me like, this is a damn technician motherfucking job that you teaching me. This is beyond the position that you told me to do. Cause it ain't about the skill position. It ain't about none of that. So now, why am I telling you this story? Because I want you to do the same thing. This is the wealth. My wealth has been sitting and looking in my face, sitting down in the corner for years. That has been my wealth. And I've been in these poverty stricken relationships and poverty minded people who constantly got in my way, that I've allowed to get in my way of my money, because you are the currency, you see? So the moment I said, man, I'm about to fucking leave, bro, that was me walking away from my currency. You have to build the relationship with your money, okay? And you have to say to your divine supply, we are going to make it. We will make the best. You have to talk to your divine supply. I'm using that term to say money. You have to talk to your divine supply and say, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do for you? So we can multiply, so we can elevate, so that we can have a better relationship. Because your relationship with your money is polygamous. It's a polygamous relationship. It's a poly relationship because you got to have other, you can't, it's just not you in that one fucking bill. It's you in multiple and multiple and multiple bills. That's the whole point. Call it by its name. Now, what more do I want to tell y'all about my experience? Your words is your wand. Your words is your wand, right? Your words is your wand is another way for you to understand, okay, what are you putting out there? What reason do I need to be like to this manager about this manager? And then this manager says, "Here, leave that. You need to learn stuff like this." What the fuck? You need to learn stuff like this. You know why the universe did that? You need to focus on your money. You need to focus on those numbers. You need to follow your money. That was the universe was saying. I remember he kept saying roll 5, roll 3, roll 5, roll 3. I said, oh, okay. And okay, I was upset and I was looking at this and I'm like, what am I standing here for? But it all began to hit me, just like from going to sleep until now. It all began to hit me. You got to look at life in that level of wisdom. Do you hear me? You have to go into the wisdom of it all. What is the wisdom of this? Why do I keep why do I have someone who is a friend and they have a partner who's just a spendthrift, who's just so careless with their money, and their health deals with carelessness as well, and all these different things. Oh, this is a mirror. Because not only how you treat your money is how you treat yourself. Look at people who really take care of themselves and take care of their money too. Look at that. I'm talking about people who keep their health together and all that. Now, let's get a little bit to the things that will change. When you learn stuff like your words are your wand, you're going to become more quiet and you're going to be more mindful of what you talk about. I have a coworker from uh, the Central America, and he's a person of color. And he always talks about the history of his country. And I was like, and he teaches about Creole language and stuff like that. I said, damn, you're going to make me get a book and start getting into the history of Belize and start studying this country. And I'm serious. I was like, I'm about to really start studying this. And he said, oh, yeah, man, it's talks so highly of his country. And I was like, okay, maybe something is calling me to go here. Yeah, I think about stuff like that, you know? Maybe something's calling for me to go to this place. And so I keep note of things like this. And then, you know, the coworker that's always talking about New York. Well, I always say, you know, my family's up there, but I always say that New York is a place I can always go for opportunity. There's so much, you know, of artists and people I follow that they're doing a whole bunch of events in New York and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And so there's an event that's in New York that I'm going to watch on Zoom, you know. Um, And so I'm like, okay, I mean, you can't really do nothing about New York because it's New York. You know? Like, the people I follow, that's the way they hustle at. Whether they live in LA, they go to New York, whether they're in Florida, they go to New York, whether they're in Midwest, they go to New York. I can't do nothing about that. And so that happens. Um Now, you, the one I'm talking to out there who listens to me, when you learn that your words are your wand, you'll begin to use your words as your wand. You won't say things like, I can't do that. That's hard. That's a challenge. I'm going to say, I'm going to do my best. You know what's going to happen? You know what my brother said to me yesterday? He said, you're doing your best. You're doing the best that you can do. So he's reflecting back to me the way that I talk to myself. You're doing the best that you can do. You're going to talk kinder to yourself. You're going to be nicer to yourself. You're not going to let nobody make you feel no type of way. Right? Another thing, your energy is going to pull away from people. It is. It's going to pull away from people. It's not going to, your eyes are not going to see things the same anymore. It's not. Your eyes is not going to feel the things the same anymore. You're going to look around, you're going to be like, okay, wow, okay. Let me get away from this person. And let me not talk too much to this person. I started peeping something yesterday, right? There's a coworker I was around. And I was like, these people have negative energy. Like, their energy is like, they don't have hope. That's what it was. I said, there's no energy of hope. Like these, I don't want to be around this energy like that. I need to start trying to find a way to separate myself energetically. Say hi, chit chat, but kind of just go my own way. Because they was telling me, oh, come sit over here next to me and stuff. And I don't mind it, they're cool, but it's like the energy I feel is like this person is just, they have a hope, they have a hopeless energy about them. I didn't feel that before, but now I do. And the other one, she barely even talks to me. So these things are going, and I said hi to that person, and I said, oh, I know they heard me, right? So these things are going to happen. Like, I accept the reality that I do not dress the same. Okay? I don't dress the same. I don't look the same. I acknowledge the fact that I've developed a new routine in the bathroom for myself, right? I acknowledge the fact that, uh, I just want my beauty out. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more. And I acknowledge the fact that I don't work hard. I work smart. I don't put too much of myself into it. I acknowledge that. And I acknowledge the fact that people realize that I'm losing weight because I am losing weight. And I acknowledge that. So you have to be honest with yourself. You're losing weight, you're working out, you're about to start muscling up. You feel me? And you're gonna be able to, and you're still shaping your body. Not only that, you're also shaping your body up while you're losing weight, right? Then on top of that you're shaping your body up while you're losing weight, you are, people are noticing it. I saw the lady who asked me about my weight. I saw her, she was eating something. And she was like, Hi, Mincy. I was like, oh, hola, hi, whatever. And I noticed that I felt it. I said, oh, she really listened to what I said. She's really, remember I told you the one I said I feel like she was sincere and I wasn't sure. Yeah, she listened to what I said. I saw her little whatever she had in her hand. I felt it. I said, oh, she started changing the way she eats, and she low key looking at me too. Yeah, she changed. She's changing her eating habits. It's okay. I'm happy for her. So you may have those. You may have people in the background that's cheering for you. That's like that's applauding. Like, okay, that you're influencing that you may not know. And it may be somebody secretly that you're influencing that you may not know. But it's all the universe just giving you that high five, like you got this. What did you make the change for? Let me ask you the question. What did you make the change for? What did you want to sit down and read the book for? What did you want to even come here to this show and be like, who the creators code? I never heard of this. What's this about? And listen to it with me. Why did you stick around? I started with the fake friend conversation. The fake friend still conversation still turned into something spiritual. Still turned into something spiritual. Then it still turned into the frequency of money. And I was sitting here using words and saying things on my own. And then here I am turning on all these books. And here we find Duchess Dollars. We just found that channel. And she said that the channel will find you. And we know that this stuff does find you because I ain't even going to say it because I'm not going to jinx myself. But I know don't nobody really listen to that show. Ain't nobody really taking her serious. There's a lot of people that are taking Duchess Dollars serious. But there's like a chosen few. But a lot are not taking her serious. She's very fucking serious. She just has a very honest, bubbly way in which she brings the message, but she is not playing with you. That's another thing. Don't play with money. Remember? Smokey, playing with my money is like playing with my feelings. See? Because money, emotions, energy, all of that shit, you have a relationship with your money. If you have a relationship with something, then you have an emotional connection to it. So how do you treat your money? How do you stack your money? What do you have in the with your money when you put your money up? Right? It's so funny because I had these envelopes. I never threw them away, and it's these red envelopes, and they I got them from Chinatown, and I know I still have them. I just don't know where I put them now. And I have one that's Mickey Mouse. Oh, I should give one to my niece. And so in this red envelope, you put your money in this envelope, and this is the Chinese doing this. And I used to be like, yo, this is pretty dope. But I realize now why people carry their money the way that they do. Because money is a spiritual thing. It's your divine supply. And do you know what happened to me yesterday? I saw one of my coworkers and I looked up at them and I saw the word divine. Because the word divine is stems from the word, divination, to give reading to read into. Yeah, go look up the etymology of the word divine. I looked that word up years ago. And so that's where it all comes from. You're divinely supplied, right? And so why do you have these experiences? We don't have to go deep into that. These people are only mirrors. Why now? All of a sudden, you'd be like, well, why people, why people flipping on me? Why now this person who I thought was cool is now I realize I don't even like them no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm peeping who they are, how they move, and what they really think about me, right? Why? Because of the frequency, my love. That's why. Because of the frequency. You shift. Therefore, things around you are going to shift. Therefore, the people they're not going to be able to show how much they never liked you. There was once a woman, who cried because she went real hard to get herself a car, and it was a certain type of car that she got herself. Right, she got herself I don't know. It was a fancy car. Y'all know I'm still learning cars, right? And so she got herself a car, and so um, when she got this car that she worked hard for while she was working at the bank, she said the people at the job would not talk to her no more. She said it shocked her. She said she's never went through nothing like that before. She said the people would not talk to her, right? And the reason these things are happening is because it's a frequency that you have been emitting. Because I noticed that when I get in my ride, right, and I say hi to her, and I always tell her thank you when she gives me my ride, and all of these different things. Um, I notice that she won't say nothing back to me. Sometimes it happens, but she won't say nothing back to me, and I'll be like, I don't think about it. I don't get into it. I still keep the same energy going. I'll be like, okay, well, thank you, and sometimes we still chit chat and stuff. But the point is, why why is this? Because the frequency have shift. See, the you may not have realized that you stayed where you were at energetically because of who was around you. Because when you walk into the space, they speak in hi and hello to you. People are very fucked up, and they'll feel more happy when you look fucked up. Okay, so I'm serious. They'll feel more happy to say hi to you when you look fucked up, as opposed to when you look really, really good. You see what I'm saying? In your own type of way, and you changing and transforming in your own type of way. A lot of people don't. A lot of people feel some type of way about it. Another thing that I think is an ultimate key in all of this, right? That I want you to take note of. You have to know what comes with the frequency that you're saying that you're riding. You're riding a wealth frequency. Do you not realize that? Excuse me. I don't want to. I want you to realize that you yourself will not want to deal with these people. See, this is where you have to be very honest about yourself. Like, in all reality, how do you want to deal with these people? Okay, coworker situation, all right, fine. Neighbor situation, all right, fine. But really, you don't want to deal with them. You really don't. You have to ask yourself, well, why did I like this person at first? Why did I think this person was cool? Why did I think it was okay? Because you were not aware, you see? And here's a thing too. Um, Sometimes people, if you pay attention closer, it'll tell you the truth that you didn't see about that person, right? You'll be like, oh, this person always had shady ways about them, but I never realized that. See? So that's another thing about this frequency. You're going to go into an awareness. Um, you're going to go into a space where you're going to start being like, damn, my body never felt this before, but now it does. It reminds me of the Shanquilla girl, right? In that scene when she came into the room and they had her recorded. No, she recorded herself in the room. And she was like, who getting naked? Who getting naked? Let's go. Who getting naked? And she was all excited. And everybody in that motherfucking room, just, you felt the energy. Like your stomach dropped. Okay? And like your stomach just dropped. And that was the moment after this girl got killed. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to understand that That is the level of the. I'm not saying that you're gonna get unalived. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's the level of frequency of people. See, a lot of these people. Oh man, I hate to even talk about this. I do. A lot of these young people who have been in situations where they've gone on trips with people, where they have got on boats and all these different things. They were all, every single one of them, go look for yourself. They were all in a frequency of of wealth. They were all going there. They were all getting there. You know, you could look it in their faces and see it, that their energy was like, not here. Like, I'm going higher than where I am. And they put themselves in poverty frequency. And this is what poverty frequency will do to you. They will take you out. That's why you have to get away from them. And you think people in wealth frequency don't know that? I think that's one of the biggest secrets that people in wealth frequency will never tell you, is that the poverty frequency people will try to kill you. Yep, they will try to kill you. Okay? Now, another thing. Um, you have to not care. Okay? That's another thing. You have to not care. And I'm gonna tell you why you have to not care. This same manager has one time apologized to me. I want you to pay attention to what happened. Oh, I didn't. I felt like I was being mean to you. This, that, and the third. And I was like, okay, gave that person the benefit of the doubt. Nobody gives the benefit of the doubt. Okay, no one can be trusted. All right, you have to learn that. And you, as you ride the wealth frequency, no one can be trusted. Okay, take it from me. He apologized. You know what happened? He stabbed me in the back, and another superior who'd been there since the 90s told me, without telling me. He was like, I don't want to repeat what he said. I'm not going to repeat that. I said, okay. And so I never did that job again because of that situation. But notice what that person did. And I want you to understand why people do that, and why you have to not care, and why you have to make sure you let them know that they're not forgiven, or let them know that you don't care. Okay? Because you might, I mean, I know we at work and stuff, please be careful. But I mean, for me, I'll be like, I don't really care. Or just brush it off. I'm going to tell you why. People do that to clear their karma. Remember, I talked to you about that? People don't be sorry. They clear their karma because they know that doing that shit to you, there's something going to come for them. And I know that sounds strange to hear, but there are people who know that if they do something to you, that something is going to come to them. And so, therefore, they're apologizing to clear their karma, but you don't forgive them. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something what happened to that person. That person, let me tell you the story. They, after they betrayed me, they got rejected. Their job got rejected. You know what I said to them? I said, that's what you get for taking me off the line. I couldn't even, I could never, I never, I said, that's what you get for taking me off the line. And I didn't even hold my tongue to say that shit. That's what your ass get. And you have to talk like that. You have to bring that energy back. That's what your ass get. You just, that's what you get. Because you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. Do you understand that your energy alone could be the reason somebody's not sick? That your energy alone could be the reason somebody's car is still going? Do you know when I got away from somebody as a friend, they fucking, the hood of their car flipped like a movie. The hood of Final Destination, the hood of their car flipped on top of their the in front of their yeah, in front of the window, the front window, while they were driving in the street. it flipped up. Yeah. And that person talked cash shit about me, called me a narcissist, said all kind of shit. And their little boyfriend called me and told me. Because see, sometimes the universe, man, I'm telling you, the universe will be a catalyst. Okay? Universe will be a fucking catalyst for real when it comes to this path and this information. Now, let me also add something else that I think should be added and said in this. I knew that I was going to do that. But let me give you a story, right? There was once a guy, right? He he basically was with this woman who was a Caribbean woman. She was Dominican. Oh my gosh. And I say oh my gosh because about you gonna see why when I tell you the story. And so what happened is he beat this woman, pistol whipped this woman. Okay? This is what he did to her. Right. And so life went to shit for him. Do you hear me? It went to shit. You understand? When she left, she grabbed her baby and she took herself back to Cali, right? The money he once had, gone. That mansion that he lived in, gone. His dog even died. His dog even died. So his sister said to him, you need to apologize to her ancestors. Okay? That's what his sister said to him. Said, you need to apologize to her ancestors. You need to go to the altar. You need to go and you need to apologize to her ancestors. Now, why am I telling you this story? And then he was broken up over his sister's death. Let me tell you something. There's when they say people are chosen ones, that's not a lie. But I need you to understand something deeper when you ride the wealth frequency. People don't get away for what they do to us. That manager's very sick. Okay, my brother don't like him at all. My brother said he's sick. We don't know why he's sick, but he's sick. That manager's very sick. Nobody knows why he's so sick. Okay. And remember, I got sick. Remember, I got sick for 3 weeks. Let me fucking tell you something. People don't get away with what they do to us. That's why you have to sit back and they get what they get. You see? Because when you have a destiny, when you're riding the wealth frequency, when you're living in the creator's code, right? When you are divinely supplied and divinely protected, those guides that protect you will protect you because they see what you don't see behind the veil. That's the beauty of being a spiritually intelligent person. And when you're in tune with this is why when you walk this is the nervousness that you feel. The nervousness is the biorhythm. The nervousness is other people because something in you knows, man, if I go ahead and take this motherfucking opportunity, I don't give a fuck if I'm working this 9 to 5 and I do this shit in private. People gonna feel that a bitch is doing something. But you have to let all that go. You have to let all that go. These people are nothing. They're human beings. In their human being experience, their human being perception and projection. When you're looking at somebody who fat, who body look fat, nasty, and sloppy, that's their reality. Okay, that's their mindset. When you're looking at somebody who's tired of looking at their weight and they want to lose it, and you see them doing things to lose their weight, that's their reality. You see what I'm saying? When you have somebody who can't, because they can't do their paperwork, they're getting attitudes and being nasty to people. That's their real. That's their real. That's their level of intelligence. That's their reality. That's showing you how smart that they're not, as much as they try to make themselves out to be. Okay. And here's another thing I like to tell you. Um, a key thing to note in all of this, right? I want you to focus on yourself. That's the main thing. I need you to focus on yourself and focus on what you need to do for what you need to do, right? I need you to also keep the mission, okay? I want you to stay on your mission, because if you let this world toss you around, okay? If you let this world toss you around, meaning it will distract you, right? Remember, the key thing is alignment, okay? The key thing is alignment. That's it. Because you are supposed to pump up the volume. You are supposed to raise your frequency. Because what are you asking for this new identity for in the first place? Because the world has given you an identity that was never was yours anyway. That's why you asked. That's why you called out to, okay, uh for the universe. Okay? Now you're gonna shop different. Right? Right? You're gonna you realize that wealthy people shop and buy things that can get them money. Everything is currency for them. That's how they keep things wealthy. We see how they spend their money, how they shop, how they invest into themselves. I saw a kit at my job, right? Nice kit. I said, oh shit, I need to get this. Right? I said, I need to get this. And I said, I need to get this because I need to invest into my makeup look and all that kind of stuff. Technically, I can go get MAC. I don't have to get that. I can get MAC, right? Time forward or some shit, right? To invest into my look a little bit more, right? But the point is, I ended up uh, keeping my eye on a product. I don't know if the store is going to sell it, but I was thinking about it. It's like, this product right here, I can flip this shit. You know what I mean? Word up. I could flip this shit, bro. I really can, you know? But I was more looking at it as an investment, right? So when I get up and start my day and start throwing on makeup and stuff again and like getting my day started and stuff, that was very key to me. Now, I thought about how what kind of pocketbook I wanted. I was like, oh, this is why they invest into pocketbooks, because they flip the pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? They can get more money than what they started with or whatever with the pocketbook or however it may be, right? I said, okay. So Taking on these little mental things in your mind will begin to help you open up to yourself. You unfold yourself. And yo, I'm serious, you will unfold yourself. And then you will see that by the little shifts that you make, you'll see the changes around you with people. I'm telling you, you'll be like, I mean, it'll trip you out. I'm not going to hold you. At first, it may trip you out, but here's the thing, you are going to be moving different. I told you, I heat up my food and I usually walk through the area, the cafe area, and sit down. I did not do that. I walked around the way when nobody was around. I can't, I didn't know what to tell you, but I felt something uncomfortable. I just felt uncomfortable. And I was like, I'm going to walk this way. Because your frequency is going to a level where your frequency won't even be able to be in frequency that's lower than than what your frequency is emitting. And so therefore I walked around alone by myself and sat down. I was like, oh, now I get it. Okay. And so here's another key thing I would love to add. You're going to start attracting more as yourself when you get outside. That's the beauty of this. You will start attracting yourself. Uh-huh. You will walk outside, you will go to certain events and places, and you will find yourself right there when you go outside. That's the beauty of it. Those are the things. If anything, that was always the funnest was going outside and meeting awesome people. I've always loved that about my life. That right there, just meeting the most awesome people. We didn't have to exchange numbers. We didn't have to exchange social media. We just had a great time, and we learned something from each other, and we kept it moving. I always love those moments. Here's another thing. You won't care. I promise you, you won't care. Alright, so let's go ahead and put it on. Uh, Let me see something. I'm gonna cut myself a quick little. Hold on, y'all. I wanted to see what else because I have a lot from that experience that I do want to say. Um, I think that I did go into the world and the people. The reason why people are the way that they are is because of the economy, yeah, and the and not only the economy and what Trump is doing and all this shit, I would say, right? And I started realizing it don't matter. Because guess what? The economy is still going to get complained about. The system is still going to be white supremacist patriarchal system. That's not going to change. The everything about what's going on right now with Trump, what about before, after Trump? It don't fucking matter. It's people. It's people. And if you realize it, you've been down this road before. You've been exactly down this road before. And then remember what you were doing then. I was always doing side work. I was always doing another job to make me money outside of the job that I had. I was always doing that. Always. This is the first time I had one stream of income like this, like one stream of income. So I was like, nope, got to get back on my game. So, like I said, like I said, it comes to this. I'm laughing, y'all, because I'm trying to tell you, bro. I tell y'all my stories because, man, this shit real. I always knew this shit was real, but this shit is getting real, real for me in my life. You have to not be afraid. It takes courage to make money. Okay? It takes courage to make money. My stepdad said he sold silver chains. That's how he started. He sold silver chains. Then he worked up to bigger jewelry, going to the jewelry store, making his investments, making his connection, all kind of shit. Having his ideas stolen and told that it was dumb, but still having his ideas fucking stolen. This my stepfather. You gotta understand that. You are divinely supplied, much higher. See the see the finances is the physical manifestation of your spiritual credit, of your spiritual karma, of what you spiritually have been building. That's what it is. See, I got aunts who have nothing and they're in the streets, but they rob people. They robbed themselves. They were in the streets. They were out there on the blade, but they robbed people. And then after they robbed people, they would beat them up. This is the shit they did. And so I'm not saying they still have money and stuff, but they're not in the best living conditions because that's the karma that they build for themselves. And my aunts are twins. That's why I say them. You know, it's hard to just say one when it's two. It's twin shit. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's karma that they've built for themselves. And so this is why I say you have to know who you are and what you are worth. Just like that person who, the manager that apologized but still stabbed me in my shit, still stabbed me in my back. Yeah, it's that part. And you're gonna get to a point you don't want to talk no more. I know I'm to a point I don't want to talk no more. That's how I feel. You're gonna get to a point you're done. And let me tell you, that's the best feeling. As long as you still do your job, still do what you need to do. As far as like if you have a 9 to 5, you still do it. You're just gonna let it go. You're gonna let go of the raise. You're gonna let go of all that shit. You're gonna say I'm divinely supplied. You're gonna call out your money's name and say, we're gonna make the best out of this. We're gonna multiply this. We're gonna take this divine supply that we have already and we're gonna multiply this shit. Watch. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play Homie before I get ready to go. Y'all know who Homie is. from the Shiloh Wisdom. About this is about 27 minutes. See, I'm so used to commercials now, like the video just plays automatically. And so it's like, I don't know no other way how to, I gotta pause it right away. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this Shiloh Wisdom. Shiloh Shiloh Wisdom. I know I can talk, I just can't talk right now. And from the Shiloh Wisdom, we're going to get into basically Shinny. I think I'm saying his name right. The homie. This is Shin Lee talking. All right. Shin Lee talking about how not to get angry and frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and listen to that. I got the comment section up so I can see y'all. I don't have to look down. Up here, the studio. So. All right, y'all. We got to do this. Let's go.
The one who learns to master his inner world can no longer be shaken by the outer world. This truth has been repeated in many forms, yet most people still believe that their peace depends on the behavior of others. They imagine that anger is created by an insult, by disrespect, or by the actions of another person. But if you observe carefully, you will see that anger is not something placed inside you from outside. It is something already within, waiting for the right trigger to surface. No one has the power to disturb your peace without your permission. What happens outside are merely movements of sound and action, but what happens inside is your response. To understand this is to begin a path where calmness can no longer be stolen by the noise of the world. When a person shouts at you, the sound reaches your ears, but the meaning, the story, the emotion you attach to it, all of this is created by your mind. The shout is only air. The meaning is your interpretation. If you recognize this, you will see clearly how much power you have over your own reactions. Without this awareness, you are a puppet pulled by the strings of others. With this awareness, you cut the strings and walk freely. People may still speak, act, or behave in ways that are unkind, but you are no longer bound to react as they expect. You become like a mountain that remains unmoved while storms rage around it. The belief that others control your emotions is a form of weakness. You give away your inner strength when you say, "He made me angry, she upset me, they bothered me." In truth, no one can make you feel anything. They can only present situations. You decide what those situations mean. This is why two people can experience the same event, yet one remains calm and the other is filled with rage. The event is the same. The difference lies in the mind of the one who experiences it. If your inner world is unstable, the smallest word will disturb you. If your inner world is strong, even the loudest insult will pass by you like wind through an open field. The practice of mastering this inner space requires attention. You must watch yourself when irritation begins to rise. Do not deny it. Do not suppress it. Simply observe. Where does it begin? How does it feel? What story does the mind create in that moment? If you keep your attention steady, you will notice that irritation is not solid. It is a wave. It comes, it grows, and if you do not feed it, it fades. By feeding it with thoughts, "I do not deserve this. How dare they treat me like this? I must respond." You strengthen the wave into a storm. By remaining as a witness, you allow the wave to pass. In time, this observation builds a new habit. The habit of choosing silence over reaction. The habit of breathing before speaking. The habit of keeping your energy within you rather than scattering it in anger. And slowly, people notice. They see that they cannot control you as they control others. They see that their words lose power when they do not trigger your emotions. The game they play of provoking, insulting, or manipulating no longer works on you. What once was a battlefield becomes empty. The arrows are still shot, but they find no target. To walk this path requires patience. The ego does not enjoy being ignored. It will push you to defend, to prove, to argue, to show strength through loudness. But true strength is quiet. True strength does not need to prove itself. The lion does not need to roar every time the dogs bark. In the same way, the mind trained in calmness no longer wastes energy on every distraction. It sees clearly what matters and what does not. Every day will offer opportunities to practice. A rude driver, an impatient colleague, an unkind family member. Each one is a mirror, showing you the state of your own mind. If you react, it is not because they disturbed your peace, but because your peace was fragile. If you remain calm, it is proof that your peace has become unshakable. Do not blame the world for your anger. Use the world as your training ground. With each moment, strengthen the awareness that only you decide how you feel. In this way, step by step, you learn to carry within you a silence that no one can touch, a calmness that no one can steal, and a strength that no storm can break. Emotions are like sparks. If you add fuel, they become fire. If you let them pass, they dissolve. Most people do not see this truth, and so they live their lives as if they have no choice in how they feel. They believe that anger appears suddenly, fully formed, with a force that cannot be stopped. But if you slow down and watch closely, you will see that anger always begins small, like the faint glow of a spark. A spark cannot burn you unless you place dry wood upon it. In the same way, irritation cannot harm you unless you feed it with stories, with memories, with judgments, with the desire to defend yourself. When someone provokes you, the choice is always present, though it may be hidden beneath habit. You can allow the spark to remain only a spark, fading in a few seconds, or you can throw fuel upon it, creating a fire that burns you more than anyone else. Every time you replay the insult in your mind, every time you add the thought of revenge, every time you justify why you are right and the other is wrong, you are adding wood to the flame. And soon fire becomes so large that it consumes your peace, your clarity, your health. In the end, you carry the heat long after the other has forgotten their words. But what happens if you do not feed the spark? What if you simply let it be? A spark without fuel goes out. Irritation without attention fades. If you train yourself to remain as a watcher, you will notice that the emotion rises and falls on its own. The body may feel heat, the chest may tighten, the mind may race. But if you do not join with it, if you do not identify with it, it passes like a wave returning to the ocean. Just as clouds cannot stain the sky, emotions cannot stain your true nature unless you hold on to them. The power lies in the moment of pause. Between the spark and the fire, there is a space. In that space is your freedom. Most people have forgotten this space, reacting instantly, without awareness. But you can reclaim it. When provoked, breathe, count your breath, feel your body. This pause creates distance, and in that distance the spark loses its power. A spark cannot live without attention. Your attention is the oxygen it requires. Remove the oxygen, and the spark dies silently. You must also remember that no one benefits when you add fuel to anger. The world does not become better because of your rage. The person who provoked you is not transformed because you shouted. In truth, you suffer more than they do. Anger is a fire that first burns the vessel that contains it. By the time it reaches outward, you are already wounded. So why continue to feed what destroys you? The discipline, then, is simple but not easy. Train yourself to notice the very first spark. The slight tightening in the stomach, the warmth in the face, the restless thoughts that begin to form.
I want to add something here. So, just want to get into practical negativity now. So, yes, when I was at work, right, one thing that frustrates me about the job, one thing that used to frustrate me. Let me say used to. Um, was I hated how much chairs have to be rotated. I just hated that shit. I thought it was stupid. It felt like, why don't we just have solid chairs on the line so we can just sit our ass down when we go to work and that's it, right? That's what I was thinking. But then something hit me yesterday. Um, and I mean it hit me yesterday. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't own this chair. This is not my chair. Nobody's sitting in my chair. This is the company's property that I borrow for my shift. So if I decide to take a chair and decide to say this is a chair I'm sitting in, it's not my chair. Just get another chair. Somebody sits in the chair you sit in, just get up and just go get another chair and just wait for a material handler to give you another chair. And see, that probably would be seen as, oh, that's weak shit. No, 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 no. That's intelligence. Who the fuck owns a chair here? Nobody does. Who can sit here and claim something that don't belong to nobody? You just borrowing the chair and you just keeping it for the day and you put your stuff on it and say, please don't touch my chair. But nobody really necessarily has a chair. And so there it is.
Do not wait until it becomes a fire. At that point, it is much harder to control. Catch it early. Watch it without judgment. Let it dissolve naturally. In time, this practice becomes your habit. Just as some people have the habit of feeding every spark until they live in constant fire, you will have the habit of letting sparks die until your inner world remains cool, calm, and clear. Life will continue to bring people who test you. They will speak without thinking. They will act without kindness. They will throw sparks in your direction again and again. But once you understand that the fire only burns if you allow it to, you no longer fear these sparks. You welcome them as training, as reminders of your freedom. No one can force you to burn. No one can ignite a flame within you without your consent. In this way, you become untouchable, carrying within you a silence that no spark can disturb, a strength that no flame can consume. Detachment is not indifference. It is strength. Many people misunderstand this and believe that to be detached means to feel nothing, to care for nothing, to become cold. But this is not the essence of detachment. True detachment means that you do not allow the words, judgments, or emotions of others to control your state of being. You can care deeply, you can act with kindness, you can even feel compassion, but at the same time you remain free. You are no longer chained to the moods of others. You are no longer a prisoner to their opinions. Just as the sky is untouched by the passing clouds, you remain untouched by the passing negativity of the world. Imagine standing beside a calm lake. If someone throws a stone into the water, ripples will appear on the surface. But the depths of the lake remain still. Detachment means you live from the depth, not from the surface. On the surface, people may insult you, criticize you, or misunderstand you. If you live only on the surface, you will be tossed by every ripple. But when you live from the depth, their actions cannot reach you. You see them, you hear them, but you do not identify with them. You know that what they express comes from their own mind, their own pain, their own conditioning. Why should their storms become your storms? To practice detachment, you must stop taking everything personally. This is the root of so much suffering. When someone speaks harshly, immediately the thought arises, they attacked me, they disrespected me, they hurt me. But if you look closer, you will see that what they say reflects them, not you. A bitter tongue speaks from a bitter heart. An angry voice comes from a restless mind. Their words are mirrors of their inner world, not accurate descriptions of who you are. The moment you realize this, their power over you is broken. The insult falls flat. The criticism loses its weight. You remain steady, like the mountain that does not tremble when the wind blows. Detachment does not mean withdrawal from life. It means engagement with clarity. You can listen to others without being pulled into their storms. You can help others without drowning in their suffering. You can remain kind without becoming weak. This balance is strength. Without detachment, every sharp word pierces you, every harsh act wounds you, every rejection shakes you. With detachment, you walk through the same world, but no longer carrying its burden upon your shoulders. This strength is cultivated through awareness. Each time you feel the urge to react, pause and ask yourself, is this really about me, or is it about them? In most cases, you will find that it is about them. Their frustrations, their expectations, their disappointments. Why should you drink the poison that was never meant for you? Leave it where it belongs. Do not carry what is not yours. This is detachment. In daily life, there will always be moments when people project their emotions onto you. Some will do it knowingly to provoke you. Others will do it unconsciously, lost in their own struggles. If you are attached to their opinions, you will rise and fall endlessly, happy when praised, broken when criticized. But if you are detached, you remain steady, like the sky that does not change whether the clouds are white or dark. The sky does not celebrate when the sun shines, and it does not despair when the storm comes. It allows both, yet it remains vast, open, untouched. The more you train in detachment, the freer you become. Freedom is not escaping the world. It is living in a world without being chained by it. Detachment allows you to see clearly, to act wisely, and to protect your inner peace. It gives you the strength to respond instead of react, to choose silence instead of conflict, to carry compassion instead of anger. And when you reach this state, you will understand that nothing outside has the power to bother you, because you are no longer bound by the illusions of attachment. Breath is the gateway to silence. When agitation rises within, the first reaction of most people is to answer with words or with action. But words spoken in anger are like arrows shot without aim. They travel far, yet they cause damage you cannot undo. Actions done in restlessness may appear strong, but they always leave behind regret. This is why the one who learns to return to the breath, instead of reacting, discovers a secret power. The breath is always with you. It is the anchor in every storm, the bridge between body and mind, the doorway that leads back to calmness. When you notice irritation building inside you, do not rush outward. Do not feed the situation with your voice or your hands. Instead, pause and feel the breath. Inhale deeply, as if you are drawing in strength. Exhale slowly, as if you are letting go of the weight of anger. With just a few breaths, you will notice the heat inside begin to cool. Your heartbeat slows, your mind gains space, and the urge to react loses its grip. The problem is not erased, but you are no longer its prisoner. You have regained command over yourself. The breath is a reminder that silence is stronger than noise. Most people think silence is weakness, but silence that comes from awareness is the greatest force. It is silence that prevents the unnecessary argument, silence that breaks the chain of anger, silence that shields your peace. And breath is what guides you into this silence. Each time you breathe consciously in moments of provocation, you are telling yourself, I will not give away my power. I will not let the outer world control my inner world. This discipline creates a distance between the situation and your response. In that distance lies your freedom. Imagine a flame flickering in the wind. If the wind blows stronger, the flame grows wild. But if you cover the flame gently, protecting it, the fire calms down and becomes steady again. Your breath is that protective cover. It does not extinguish your fire completely, but it steadies it so that you use it with wisdom instead of wasting it in destruction. Anger is a form of fire. When you breathe, you learn to hold it, to guide it, to let it serve you instead of burn you. Many do not realize that the body carries the signs of anger long before the mind acts. The chest tightens, the breath shortens, the muscles harden. If you are unaware, you will miss these signals, and by the time you notice, the anger has already taken over. But if you live with awareness of your breath, you notice immediately. The first shallow inhale, the first quickening of rhythm, the first heat in the body, these are your teachers. They remind you to pause, to slow down, to choose differently. By mastering your breath, you master the early stages of anger before it grows into something greater. Breathing in this way is not only for moments of conflict. It is a daily practice. Each morning, each evening, each time you find a quiet moment, return to your breath. Make it your companion. When the time comes that someone tries to provoke you, you will not need to search for calmness. It will already be there, built through your practice. Just as a warrior trains in times of peace to be ready in times of battle, you train with your breath daily, so that when life tests you, silence arises naturally. Through breath, you learn that you do not need to fight every battle. You do not need to react to every provocation. You can remain present, steady, silent, and untouched. The world may still throw its noise at you, but your breath will always lead you back to stillness. And in that stillness, you will discover that nothing outside can disturb the one who is anchored within. To never be bothered by anyone, train yourself to understand them instead of judging them. This shift is simple, yet it changes everything. Most people live in constant reaction because they interpret every harsh word, every insult, every act of disrespect as a personal attack. But if you learn to look deeper, you will see that what others express is rarely about you. It is about the weight they carry, the pain they hide, the struggles they cannot resolve. Every insult is a reflection of their pain. Every harsh word is a window into their suffering. If you can see this truth, then compassion will rise where anger once lived. When someone speaks with bitterness, it is easy to feel offended. But bitterness does not come from nowhere. It is born from disappointment, from wounds that have never healed, from expectations that have been broken. The one who attacks with words is often the one who has been attacked most in life. The one who criticizes without kindness is often the one who was raised in harshness. If you look through this lens, their behavior no longer appears as an enemy to you, but as a mirror of their inner state. Instead of reacting with anger, you begin to feel understanding. You realize that their words are not truly aimed at you. They are the echoes of their own unresolved battles. Understanding does not mean agreement. You do not have to accept injustice, nor tolerate disrespect. But understanding means you no longer allow their actions to poison you. You see the source of their behavior, and therefore it does not touch you in the same way. You are free. If a child shouts in anger, you do not take it personally because you know the child lacks maturity. In the same way, when an adult speaks with cruelty, you do not need to be disturbed because you see clearly the immaturity of their mind. With this awareness, your calmness becomes unshakable. Compassion is not weakness. It is a form of strength that prevents you from wasting energy on conflict. Anger takes your energy and leaves you empty. Compassion protects your energy and allows you to remain steady. To see another person's pain and still choose not to be drawn into it requires discipline. But when you succeed, you discover that peace does not come from controlling others. Peace comes from controlling the way you see them. This way of living transforms every encounter. Instead of asking, "Why are they attacking me?" you begin to ask, "What must they be going through to act this way?" That one question changes your response completely. It takes you out of reaction and places you in awareness. It allows you to stand in their shoes without being dragged into their storm. Even when people intend to harm you, your understanding weakens the power of their intention. Their arrows lose their sharpness because you no longer offer your heart as a target. The world is full of people carrying invisible wounds. They may wear smiles on their faces, but inside they carry anger, sadness, jealousy, and fear. These wounds leak out through their words and actions. If you live without awareness, you will absorb their wounds as your own, and you will suffer unnecessarily. But if you live with understanding, you let their wounds remain with them. You no longer drink their poison. Instead, you remain as the clear water that is untouched by the mud others may throw. Each day, practice this vision. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and remind yourself, "This is not about me. This is their struggle speaking." With time, this habit will become natural. Where once you felt anger, now you feel clarity. Where once you felt irritation, now you feel compassion. And from this compassion grows an unshakable peace, because no one's behavior has the power to disturb the one who understands the truth behind it. Your true power is revealed when nothing disturbs you, not because the world is kind, but because your mind is disciplined. Many believe that peace is something they will find when circumstances become favorable, when people treat them kindly, when problems disappear, when life finally bends to their will. But such peace is fragile. It depends on conditions outside of your control, and the moment those conditions change, your peace collapses. True peace is built differently. It is not given to you by the world. It is cultivated within you through discipline, awareness, and practice. The mind is like a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds will grow. Every insult, every criticism, every disappointment will plant seeds of anger and irritation. Soon, the garden becomes overrun, and you feel disturbed by even the smallest things. But if you care for this inner garden, if you remove the weeds daily through awareness and nourish it with patience and clarity, then it becomes a place of strength. People may still throw seeds of negativity your way, but they cannot take root because the soil is already rich with calmness. This is the discipline that makes you untouchable. To reach this state, you must train your mind the way a warrior trains the body. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is forged in challenge. When someone provokes you, do not see it as an obstacle. See it as training. Every harsh word is an opportunity to strengthen your silence. Every attempt to bother you is a test of your calmness. Instead of asking, "Why are they disturbing me?" begin to ask, "How strong is my discipline today?" With this shift, the world no longer controls you. The world becomes your training ground. The one who is disciplined in mind no longer wastes energy on trivial battles. You do not need to argue to prove your worth. You do not need to shout to show your strength. You do not need to react to every disturbance. True strength is not loud. It does not need to announce itself. It is seen in the one who can walk through chaos without losing balance, who can remain steady while others are falling apart, who can carry peace even in the midst of noise. This strength is invisible to many, but it is felt deeply by those around you. The more you cultivate this discipline, the more you discover freedom. Freedom from anger, freedom from irritation, freedom from the endless cycle of being pulled by the moods of others. This freedom is not given to you. It is earned through practice. Each time you resist the urge to react, your discipline grows. Each time you remain silent when provoked, your strength deepens. Each time you choose peace over conflict, you prove to yourself that your inner world belongs to you alone. Peace is not weakness. Peace is mastery. It is the highest form of strength to remain calm when the world expects you to break. Anyone can shout when insulted, anyone can fight when challenged, but only the disciplined can stand still, steady, and untouched. To walk among chaos, yet remain unmoved. That is the mark of one who has found true power. And once you reach this state, you will realize that nothing outside has the power to disturb you, for your mind has become a fortress that no storm can break.
The mind is like water. When it is calm, it reflects the world clearly. When it is disturbed, everything becomes distorted. To control the mind, one must first understand its nature. Most people believe their mind is who they are. They think, they feel, they imagine, and they say, "This is me." But the mind is like a guest living in a house that belongs to you. If you do not understand its habits, it will rearrange the furniture, open all the doors, and invite strangers inside. Thoughts will come and go like waves, sometimes peaceful, sometimes stormy, and without awareness, you will be carried away by them. That is why the first step is to observe the mind, to simply watch it without judgment, like clouds moving across the sky. When you begin to observe, you realize that thoughts are just visitors, not permanent residents. They arise, they stay for a while, and then they fade. This simple recognition opens the door to control, because you understand you are the sky, not the cloud. The mind loves to wander, travels into the past, digging up memories and regrets, or it rushes into the future, filled with worries and plans. Very rarely does it stay here, in this moment. Yet reality only exists in the present. Everything else is imagination. The past lives only as memory in the mind. The future lives only as projection in the mind. The present is all that truly is. The restless mind pulls you away again and again. That is why many people feel anxious, fearful, or lost. They are living in times that do not exist. Controlling the mind begins with gently bringing it back to the now, again and again through the park, like a shepherd guiding his sheep back to the field whenever they stray. This is not about fighting thoughts. It is about noticing when the mind has wandered and returning it with patience and consistency. Another thing to understand is that the mind reflects whatever you feed it. If you constantly give it fear, anger, and negativity, it will become a prison filled with dark corridors. If you nourish it with peace, clarity, and discipline, it becomes a temple
Hello?
filled with light. Most people spend
Yes,
all
give me
their
I hear you, but I cannot see you. Are you on camera?
I am.
Why don't I see you? Let me get up. I don't want you. Oh, excuse me. I hear you. I just don't see you. Give me a second to find you.
Okay.